Good afternoon, fourth graders. Today our objective is students will be able to identify how different types of rocks are formed. And the words that we are going to especially focus on today are sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous. Let's get started. So there are actually 3 different kinds of rocks on Earth. There are a lot of different kinds of rocks, but they mostly fit into these 3 categories: sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, and igneous rock. And they are all different because they all get formed in different ways. But the cool thing is that sedimentary rock can turn into metamorphic rock, and metamorphic rock can turn into igneous rock. And igneous rock can turn into metamorphic rock, or it can turn into sedimentary rock. And then the sedimentary rock can turn into any of the types of rocks as well. So this is called the rock cycle. Rocks don't really stay the same. Over thousands and millions of years, they all change into one another. And today we're going to learn how they do that. We are going to be taking some notes today. So the first thing we need to know is that sedimentary rock is formed by weathering, erosion, and deposition. And we have already seen what weathering and erosion and deposition are. But just as a reminder, let's take a look at this video, or at this animation. And we will see that in the video, the rocks are breaking, the big rock is breaking into smaller pieces. That's called sediment, and that is weathering. And then, of course, they fall down. Some of them fall to this part of the hill, and some of them fall into the water, and that is erosion. And let's go ahead and take a look at what happens when there is deposition. So we can see that the erosion brings the tiny sediments to the bottom of the lake, and there's deposition. They lay down there, and then they get all squished together. Watch again. So there's erosion, and they're falling, and then they lie down, and then they get squished together. That's called compacting and cementing. And that actually forms the rock. So this is an example of a rock that was formed by tiny pieces of sediment. You can kind of see the little pieces in layers. And when they were deposited, or when there was deposition, the layers squeezed on top of one another, and they got squeezed so tight that they got stuck, and they formed this sedimentary rock. So again, sedimentary rock is formed by weathering, erosion, and deposition. And we are going to write that down in our journal. Right underneath where you wrote your focus words, just skip a line, write the word notes, make sure you have a bullet point, and write down sedimentary rock, formed by weathering, erosion, deposition, and pressure. That means it gets squeezed together. Please pause the video if you need more time to write. Okay, let's go on to our second type of rock. The second type of rock we have is metamorphic rock. And metamorphic rock is formed by heat and pressure. So what does that mean? Let's watch this animation to find out. So you see this rock in here? It's way underground. And underground that far, it is super hot. Watch, it gets pushed down. It's really hot down here. There's magma down here. It's super hot, and it's getting squeezed and cooked, basically. And it turns into a different type of rock. It turns into a metamorphic rock. So let's make sure that we write that down so we don't forget. Metamorphic rock is formed by heat and pressure. Pause the video if you need more time to write. And that brings us to our third type of rock. The third type of rock we have is igneous rock. These are really cool. Another word for igneous rock is actually, you can call them sometimes lava rock, because they are formed from lava. And let's see how that happens. So first of all, the rocks have to melt. Watch that. The metamorphic rock got pushed all the way into the magma, and the magma melted the rock. Then what is going to happen is the magma is going to end up in a volcano. And when magma erupts, it becomes lava, and it gets cool, and it turns into rock. So let's watch again. Whenever the magma gets cold, it turns into crystals, turns back into rock. So let's watch one more time. The magma can come out and get cold outside of the volcano, or it can stay underneath the ground but pretty close to the outside, and it will cool there and also turn into a rock. So what happens is igneous rock is formed by melting and cooling. First it melts into lava, and then it cools into the rock. And we need to make sure that we write that down. So our last note, igneous rock formed by heating and cooling. And please pause the video if you need more time. Alright, let's see how you did. What is the rock that is formed by weathering, erosion, and deposition? I'm going to give you 15 seconds to figure it out. Alright, let's see how you did. The correct answer is sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed by weathering, erosion, and deposition. Did you get it? Okay, let's see how we do on the next one. What is the rock that is formed by heat and pressure? 15 seconds. Alright, the rock that is formed by heat and pressure is C, metamorphic rock. Heat and pressure are metamorphic rocks. And the last one. What is the rock that is formed by melting and cooling? 15 seconds. The correct answer is igneous rock is formed by melting and cooling. Alright, now that we have taken our notes and learned our 3 focus words, you may close the video and go check on the website to see what is coming next. I will see you later.